Hello, ladies and gentlemen, this is Ahdoom coming back at you with another exciting episode of Let's Play Darkest Dungeon, and this time around I thought I would mix things up. I have a couple of lobies in my roster that I want to be doing things with, so I will use an unusual party just to try and get a bit of experience on these guys, and hopefully start leveling up, particularly my cultist, and potentially an Antiquarian as well, which I often don't run with at all. So let's have a look at what missions might be appropriate for lobies. We have a Book of Relaxation, which gives me a negative dodge that I try and avoid. Bumper Crop is a nice thing though, but does require that I gather grain sacks rather than activate things. Short mission, room battles, and a Houndmaster trinket. I don't have any Houndmaster trinkets, so that's kind of attractive. And shorts are fast and quick and easy. And then finally the Lost and Found event plus a duplicate of a pre-existing Man-at-Arms trinket. I'm going to do a short map for a change, because again, if it's a weak-ish party, a short map is attractive to me. I will look at who I'm going to want to bring along and what positions they should be in. I definitely want to bring along my occultist, and you work well in position 3, which is exactly where you're going to go. I'm going to think about bringing along someone at the front that has, you know, like some hit points. Whether or not that's going to be a highwayman or a Hellion is an open question. This Hellion's just about ready to pop into level 3 though, and that could kind of be useful. Don't mind having more Man-at-Arms though, either by any measure. Let's have a look at the quirks quickly. On Guard, Beast Slayer, and Stout. That's pretty good, and nothing to be concerned about in the Ruin. So I'll put the Hellion in position 1. Don't have to worry about any of the moves around that. My next choice is going to be around... Well, I'm definitely going to want to bring an Antiquarian. The question is, do I kit you for position 2 or position 3? Never Stab is good everywhere. I haven't really looked at the Antiquarian's abilities. Again, one of the reasons why I'm choosing a short map is so I have a bit more time to look at and discuss different abilities. Protect Me is pretty useful. Invigorating Vapors is pretty useful as well. I can't remember if that's going to be an all-over buff or an individual buff, but I can work with that as I go through. Self buff and then Blight and accuracy debuff. Look, let's try and bring along Invigorating Vapors, and let's Blight can be useful, accuracy debuff can be useful, heal is certainly going to be part of the mix. Look, let's bring a Blight along with us, just for sake of, and all these things were aha! This is where things get to be a bit contentious. Fortifying Vapors only works in position 4 and 3. 4 and 3. Festering Vapors works everywhere. Protect Me works everywhere. Flash Powder works everywhere. Let's try this and put you in position 2. Again, the occultist is there for the heal, and we'll think about who to put in position 4. Again, don't often rock with adventurers. What is Herbert the... Oh, you have everything. And you're my best back row bandit. Stun Shuffle clear. Alright, let's get Herbert in position 4. And I'm kind of comfortable with this party mix. Let's look at some trinkets. Again, Hellion is pretty clear. Negative 25 stress, plus an accuracy of torch above 75, and I run high torch, it's fine. And let's buff up your hit points. The Antiquarian, we don't currently have any healing skills on you, but we can increase your chance to heal. We can also try and buff up your dodge and prot. That would be just fine. Occultists don't have amazing stuff in place. Plus 40% debuff skill chance, plus 20% move skill chance. Yeah, that works for me. And I might give you a life charm just to get you into a better place hit point wise. And then on the occultists we have the Blasphemous Vial, which is incredibles, and then an increased Blight skill chance is also really handy, but I think I'm going to have enough of a Blight skill chance. I want to make you slightly more survivable, so we're going to drop a Sun Cloak on you, and I think that's going to be us all kitted out. Let's get into provisioning. It's a short map, which means we don't need to bring quite as much as we normally would. 1 skeleton key, 1 shovel, and 8 torches, 12 food. That's probably overkill, but our healing abilities are relatively weak. Let's get in there. While this is loading, I want to stop and thank you guys very much for watching. I really appreciate your time. I know these videos go for a bit of a while, but I hope you've liked watching them. If you do, give this video a thumbs up, and let's get into the game.
Must be driven back. And what better place to begin than the seat of our noble line?
Routing's pretty clear. Go this way, and if you want to double back and be a completionist, we can. No scouting to speak of for obvious reasons, so let's press on and see how we go. Trap, 7 damage. Pretty substantial. Yeah, I'm comfortable spending that much food. And let's carry on. That is a... Ooh. Altar of Light. I can't remember what that does, because it's been a while since I've been in the ruins. So I'll just quickly check Karamazula's cheat sheet, which tells me that the Altar of Light is either a buff or a damage buff. Let's not use up our holy water just now, but we will put the damage buff down on the Hellion. Yep, plus 20% damage until camp, which will not happen. Radiant Torchlight, and let's get into our first battle room. We have a Fusilier cut through and a Bloodletter. Got a pretty good chance to insta-kill the Fusilier, so why don't we? Nicely done. Next up, we're going to be looking at how we can do the most damage with the Antiquarian, and I'm guessing that it's going to be Flash Powder to reduce accuracy on probably this chap right here. Alright, let's debuff the Bloodletter, because he's the guy that can do the most damage to me all the damn time. Could look at a heal back here, but I don't need to. What we'll do instead is a Sacrificial Stab. Your chance to bleed is pretty good. 7 damage, takes nicely. Oh. Did I not have a bleed effect? Alright, that's fine. That's fine. Right, what's your hit points? You've got 1 damage, 4 damage from Blight. You'll be dead in your first action, and that works just great for me. Oh, no damage taken, unfortunately. So he will live to fight at least one more turn. Shank drops on the Hellion, who dodges it like a champ. Punch on the back row, which is dodged also like a champ, because that accuracy debuff is just superb. Now that we know this chap is dead, we can keep focusing on debuffing this chap's accuracy. Debuff resistance only 15%, so I'm almost always certain it's going to take. Negative 24 accuracy, pretty damn effective. And let's look at how he can do some good. Don't have any front row attacks that are meaningful. Could try and stun this guy for a 50% chance and shuffle everything. It's an option. See if it takes. Yep, alright, fair enough. That's 1 free turn for me. Sacrificial Stab, I'm sorry, does no bleed damage. I'm thinking about the Plague Doctor there. So should we do some damage, or should we... Bissell Artillery, 5 to 8. Sacrificial Stab, 6 to 10. Yep, pretty clear, 7 damage. Nicely done, and let's try and apply some bleed damage as well for Bloodletter. 7 damage, and the bleed takes very nicely. Great. Alright, so that's turn. He doesn't have one, which is beautiful. Chance to take a stun, though, is greatly reduced. That said, I'm going to continue to debuff his accuracy, because I want him to do nothing to everyone. Given that I can't really do very much with the Plague Doctor, I will faff for healing. Bit more damage with the Cultist. 10 damage, wow. This Occultist is a melee OP. Rain of Whips drops a dodge for all because his accuracy is nothing. And let's go in for the kill.
Prodigious size alone does not dissuade the sharpened blade.
Oh, Antiquarians. Sweet Antiquarian treasure. Okay, this is a sarcophagus. I don't think I can tweak this with anything. Sarcophagus is just a... Yeah, okay, cool. Alright, let's roleplay this and have the Antiquarian take care of the sarcophagus. Hidden treasures are found, and a rare antique is very appreciated. A couple of busts as well to add to the mix. And time to carry on. No scouting as before, so we will keep our inventory open in case we can interrupt a unpleasant thing. The sack's contents are mine, and that's a nice pile of small change. Torch up and repeat the process. Nicely done. 1,000 gold. We are making some money on a Lobby run.
Even the cold stone seems bent on preventing passage.
Get into the room and see what we find. Room battle with a Arbalist. Ooh, that shuffle is going to be a problem. Okay, we have an Arbalist, an Acolyte, a Soldier, and a Brawler. Do I have a chance for an insta-kill on anyone? Remote chance on the soldier and kind of on nobody else. Could try and drop an Abyssal Artillery, do some back row damage, and that's not a bad call, but my Plague Doctor is out of position. That said though, that's a fantastic crit on the part of the... oh gosh. Let's drop this on the Plague Doctor to give you a better chance to live. Can try and go for a disorienting... yeah, shuffle might be handy actually. Let's see how that takes. Alright, shuffle and move to front row, which means your damage potential is greatly reduced. Graveyard Slash, take 3 damage on the Plague Doctor. Some stress on the Hellion, and my torch is now too dim for my Sun Cloak to be useful, so I will correct that in my turn. Gonna keep running the shuffle game if I can on the Acolyte to avoid more stress, and that stun does take. Could do a Nervous Stab to try and finish her off, and that's not a bad decision. Yeah, not a bad decision at all. We'll drop a Abyssal Artillery because it's our best move. And that clears some corpses as well. Bayonet Jab on the front position and 2 damage taken by the Plague Doctor. Might need to invest a turn on healing with the Occultist if he's in position. Could try and get a kill though, and that's not a bad decision. Good chance to take out the Arbalist who's now in position, or deny them a turn. And denying them a turn is a good decision every time. Rend the Old Gods on first position, and we get the dodge there, which is just fine. Could look to weaken somebody with Sacrificial Stab. Could try and drop a Blight, which wouldn't be a bad call, but it's a long way away from doing any real good. Let's just re-up that dodge, because it's going to expire in a second. Nothing much that the Plague Doctor can do aside from trying for the stun. So we may as well, again, these shuffles are a bit of a problem for me. Can try and, yeah, look, I'm going to move forward. I'm going to waste the turn and move forward. Going to drop a heal, that's all he can do. No bleed and full heal, fantastic. Rend the Old God does a 6 on the Hellion and drops a bleed to boot, but she can do something about that. But with Wicked Hacks in play, can actually start doing some meaningful damage, I hope. Let's just drop the heal on her anyway. It's 16, and no additional bleeds to speak of. What can we do? Get the Arbalist close to a kill, but they're only doing jabs at this stage, so we'll put 6 damage down on the Brawler. Quick move with the Plague Doctor, and that Bayonet Jab will be dodged very handily. Rend the Old Gods on the Plague Doctor for 1 damage because her prot is buffed, but that bleed is going to be a potential problem. Wicked Hack. Let's drop that on the Brawler. If it hits, it kills. And it kills. Gonna do a quick juggle with the Occultist, so they might be able to do something next turn that's more useful. And a Wicked Hack down on the Arbalist again. If it hits, it kills. And it hits. Oh! Look at these prizes. I know that like the I know that the Antiquarian is kind of like they're a cipher for damage, like they're support and they're not an amazing support, but just this treasure is this is some mad loot. That's what I'm saying right there. It's some mad loot. A few more buffs, which are going to prove very, very useful. A few more crests as well to support the cause. Oh, no scouting information, and let us press on. Gonna probably spend a bit of food because I have an excess, compensating for the bleeds we're taking, and the sack's contents deliver us more glittering prizes. And again, this is an important thing. If you're a new or inexperienced player to Darkest Dungeon, if you have an Antiquarian, your stack is bigger when it comes to gold. Oh, 7 damage on trap and some stress as well. Taking a bit of ambient damage, but we get our first scout of the map. That's a trap that we can potentially take care of. We have no shovels left though, so that obstacle we might need to leave that curio behind or go the long way if we want it. But again, it's a short map. We're not planning to be completionists here. 80% chance disarm on the Hellion, which we will take. And we fail. Bit of damage and quite a bit of stress as well, given where she was already at. Decorative Urn will, again, because we are role-playing this, we'll drop a Holy Order in with the Antiquarian. And those are some pretty glittering prizes right there, and things do stack up quite nicely. No free inventory slots, but we're not too concerned because the anti-venom can go.
Spirits are lifted.
And torches are also running low to give us a bit more space. Antiquarian takes care of that sack. And we get, again, more stackable loot, which is just lovely. Room battle, corridor battle coming up. 2 Rebels and an Arbalist, which gives us some pretty clear indication for what we should be doing. Let's move the Arbalist to positions where we can better manage him. Or Weird Reconstruction. Let's do Weird Reconstruction, 14 hit points, back up, no bleed, and we are looking as shiny as they come. Go for the insta-kill on position 1. Critical for 29, and everyone shuffles forward, which means the Arbalist is now out of position to use his best moves. Could look at trying to do a debuff or a blight, but I'm... yeah, I'll run a debuff.
A singular strike.
That takes, and a crit for some good stress reduction across the board. You can also try and follow up the debuff with a shuffle, which isn't necessarily a bad call, but no, it's not a bad call actually. Let's go for the stun. It takes. Nicely, nicely done. Bump of the Night goes down to the Occultist for 2 damage. Nothing to be concerned about there at all. Look at dropping a minor heal on myself actually. There we go. Plague Doctor up by 1. No problem there. Could look at another stab. Could look at the debuff. Let's look at the debuff. And go for the kill on the Rabble. Another critical hit, which is absolutely beautiful. But again, this doesn't validate the moves of most of my party, unfortunately. That Sacrificial Stab could drop, or I could do a self-heal, and I think I will. That's 11 up, and no bleed. Lovely jubbly. Bayonet Stab. Jab drops down for a dodge, because your accuracy has been reduced to nothing. Go for that 1 final hit point, and we get Overheal, which is like Overkill, but for healing. And we will drop a Sacrificial Stab right here. 9 damage, 6 HP left. Could look at finishing him off at this stage with the Occultist, and can't quite, to be honest. That's surprising. Bayonet Jab, 2 damage. Amazing you can hit anything at all, to be honest. And let's clean things up. Everything stacks very conveniently. We'll have a nosh bit of food there as well, because I'm not expecting more than 2 hunger checks at this stage. No room for the bust, but we can drop the anti-venom quite comfortably, and let's press on for the battle room. No surprise there, unfortunately, but we have some pretty powerful opening abilities. Iron Swan for a crit of 29. Gorgeous. We can look at trying to drop some blights here, or we can try and reduce this Courtier's chance to actually get any hits in, which for me is the most prudent course of action. Could look at a pull as well, but given the chance of an insta-kill for the Sacrificial Stab, I'm going to take it. 9 damage, which is more than I need. Tempting Goblet does hit, unfortunately. 16 stress taken, but nothing to be inordinately concerned about. We could try and make sure that we take him out of action for the next turn, and I think we will. That stun takes quite nicely, and we have to worry about him for a smidge of time, hopefully. Good dodge there on the Hellion, and Bump of the Night does nothing. Now, I'm going to keep doing the accuracy debuffs, and at this stage, given the fact he has a stun resist, I'm going to drop a Blight, just for persistence sake. Bump of the Night goes down the Hellion, and it's yet another dodge. These Rabble really aren't worth the paper they're printed on, which is just fine by me. Could try and drop an Abyssal Artillery here for a chance to kill. Oh, beautiful critical hit there. And finishing things up with the Hellion, another gorgeous crit. Just outmatched. Just outmatched.
A trifling victory, but a victory nonetheless.
Now we get a scout through here. 1 corridor battle, which we'll do for the treasure. 1 cure we'll try and pick up as well.
A blazing star is born.
That's our last torch taken care of, and we will press on for just 1 more room if we can. Let's get that damage buff down on the Occultist. Lovely jubbly, and we have a battle on our hands. Now, and they're just spiders. No surprise they're unfortunate to work with, but we do have decent chances for insta-kills across the board. That didn't quite take on the Spitter, but we can finish things. Oh, okay, that dodge is regrettable. Alright, let's just make sure that this Spitter at least is taken out in his turn. And then going for a kill anywhere that works. Boom. Alright, enemy will get one action out of this next turn. They go for the web, fortunately. 1 damage does the stun take. Nope. But Hellion is marked. Not that I mind, because this little chappie has not long left to live. Kind of a wasted turn on the part of the Plague Doctor, but that is what happens sometimes with specialty-focused units. Again, a resist on stun and every other darn thing. And an insta-kill in the hands of the Antiquarian.
Seize this momentum. Push on to the task's end.
Yeah, the food's actually worth more. Okay. Alright, let's get out of here. We are done like dinner. So how do we go out of that hole? Just gonna wait for this all to creep up ever so slightly. 15k of gold. Pretty epic haul of busts. Not that I think that we necessarily have to have them. 16 though is nothing to sneer at. Total of 15 quests, 2 deeds, and 1 portrait. We might get a few upgrades in here. No, just one of the Hellion, which is perfectly fine. Unholy Slayer, that's going to be useful. Carrying things through. Burdekin is Nymphomaniac and has picked up a nasty case of the Black Plague, which we can absolutely help her cure. Weak grip on life is a concern for Chauncey, and Herbert the Plague Doctor is slowly creeping up in XP.
All the decadent horrors I have seen pale in comparison to that final, crowning thing. I could not look, nor could I look away.
Couple of diseases cured, none of them particularly substantial. A few minor quirks removed as well. Before we do anything, though, we're going to have a quick check of the stagecoach in case we have anyone that we absolutely and certainly want to replace anyone with. And as much as I just gave Herbert a nice run at the ball, we have someone who's level 3 that has all their upgrades already as well, and that makes more sense. He does have Fragile, though, and is Mercurial, which is an issue, but Early Riser, Fast Healer, and Wheeled Adventurer is pretty worthwhile. Unless Herbert has some epic quirks, I'm not going to be worried about keeping... Nope, not going to keep him at all. Right, you've been removed. Bohan is the replacement.
For we have need of sterner stock.
And I will pick up in my 1 free slot a Adventurer Bounty Hunter, because I don't have one, and I think that they are relatively useful.
The thrill of the hunt. The promise of payment.
Particularly in low-level party quests. And actually, that apprentice run was quite fun, to be honest. I'm going to press on and do just a little bit more housekeeping. If I can, do a quick check through people who've gone through to see if there are any upgrades I can give them, and the answer should be a yes to Daryl. I'm going to give you an upgrade on Wicked Hack, Iron Swan, If It Bleeds, and your Adrenaline Rush. Nicely, nicely done. Have a quick look in the Sanitarium to see if there's anyone that... Well, Daryl I'm not going to be doing anything with. I could take care of Cove Phobe. Gambler. Well, before we do that, let's have a quick check to see what quests we have coming up. Is there a low-level thing for the Cove? There is. Short. Apprentice. Yeah, alternative is the Wield. For another Vestal Tome. But it's a long one. This is a short one. I prefer a short one for these kinds of adventures. So I can absolutely put some level 4s and 3s in the Sanitarium if I so choose. Ludell. Let's get rid of your claustrophobia or your yeah, let's get rid of some stuff for you, Ludell. Oh. Why can't I? Why can't you? Oh, you have no medical ward, of course. Let's get rid of Wheeled Phobe. Congrius, Gambler will only gamble. That's okay, you don't ever take stress anyway. Bloodthirsty we can get cleared. Do we have any other? Hieromania. Let's get rid of Foolish's Hieromania. Why not? It's pretty cheap. Nicely done. We have some spare change left, which means we can invest in some armor upgrades, and Daryl, you're absolutely going to get your 4s up quickly. Always have to focus on getting up the low-level guys because it makes them a lot less squishy if I have the choice. If I don't have the choice, I'll focus on higher-level guys. Bruce is maxed out. I think 9 lives can take one. And I think everyone else is practically a 5. Yeah, they are. Okay, well, that leaves us with, yet again, just a small amount of spare change. But before I decide what I'm going to do, I'll unequip all trinkets and I'll get rid of some low-level stuff. Again, to my YouTube commenter, I'm sorry, your name escapes me this very, very second. You want to see the back of house fiddling that we do sometimes. Here it is. It's not the most exciting thing on earth, but it does need to happen. This bleedstone I will get rid of. This bracer I'll also get rid of, and I'll get rid of this Book of Intuition as well, which gives a nicer pot of change should we need to use it. That said, there are people that have minor diseases that I could cure. I could also spend the money on upgrading people's camping skills. That's not currently my focus. Let's take care of vampiric spirits. I think somebody picked up a unpleasant disease. Who was it? Black Plague. Alright. Antiquarian, you're definitely going to be out of action for a turn because I do not want to go into combat with a Black Plague, even though that does screw up the planned party roster. That said, we did have a little bit of free space in the mix there last time around, and I'm not afraid to Spasm of the Entrails or, let's see, Vertigo. Oh, let's take care of that move resist. Alright, we're in a good place. And we have some change left over. We only need small monies for camping abilities. Let's see what we can see. I didn't actually mean to click that, but there we go. Okay, that's a pretty good ability, but I do want to have the ability to actually run heals when I have to, so Reynold, you are there and done. I can only bring 4 of these abilities into combat though, so Party Stress Heal is good. 1 companion but removes mortality debuffs is pretty good. Self only, again, we'll swap it out in favor of that instead. And that's as much as we're going to get out of here. I'm going to call time this episode. I hope you guys have had fun watching it. Once again, my name has been Ahdoom. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for watching this video. Really appreciate your time, and I hope you like what you see. If you want to, I'd appreciate it if you hit that subscribe button. Check out the playlist from start to finish, or check out my most recent video. I will catch you guys next time.